Welcome to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm John. We're a couple of overweight barbecue enthusiasts trying to share our love for sweet and smoky food with the world.
Thanks for hanging out with us as we talk about life, share recipes, successes, and failures that have all led to our love of cooking outdoors. Welcome everybody to Fat Guys with Smokers. We are back in studio today after venturing into the brave world of travel podcast.
Yes, I'm excited to be back.
Yeah.
We learned a lot on that last one, so thanks for hanging out with us. I know the audio sucked more than mildly, but we learned a lot. It was still fun.
Oh yeah, it was different. And
the old lady buying fire starters and matches or whatever she bought.
Yeah.
I'm still a little concerned about that.
Right. Somebody needs to call somebody about that.
Nope. But yeah, so we're in the studio. I'm going to say we're going to do one more episode maybe in the studio. Mm-hmm. And then we're upgrading. We're getting a legit studio. Which means, Haley, we love you. She's giving up her craft room so that we can make this a little more professional. It's been fun. Can you believe we're like 17 or 18 episodes in?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And I was saying today is the first day I've come to do the podcast that I did not have to scrape my windows.
We're winning.
Finally.
This is funny. Haley yesterday told me that we need to stop talking about the weather.
Oh.
Because
rude.
It makes us sound like old men.
Well.
To which I told her, we are old men.
Yeah.
We've reached that point in our life where we either have to go super deep on World War II or start smoking meat. And
that's true. It's official.
Yeah.
Do we talk about the weather every time?
Apparently, every time we start the episode, we talk about the weather. I think it's mostly because we've been in this like state of seasonal depression.
Oh, no kidding.
Which, I mean, we got 18 inches of snow this week.
Yeah. I had all these plans. It's been spring break. I had all week off work. I had all these plans. I was going to experiment with some cooks and stuff. And it snowed 6 to 8 inches on Monday. And I was just super depressed and done. So
yeah.
I don't know if depressed is the right word. I lacked motivation. I was still pretty happy with my life, but
yeah,
I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, no, on April 4th, it was like whiteout blizzard conditions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to cancel a bunch of drives over spring break, which is wild.
I went down to Salt Lake on Tuesday, and that was the worst I had ever seen the canyon. Like, we went full whiteout as you were coming up the summit. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even snowing when we left, but as we went from Dry Lake to the summit, we went, and it was a full whiteout for about 5 seconds. I couldn't even see the end of the hood.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So,
well,
I'm excited for it to be over. I'm also excited for the reservoirs this summer.
Yeah, it'll be good. We've got a lot of water. Hopefully it doesn't come too fast, but we just spent 5 minutes talking about the weather after.
I'm okay with it.
All right. You got to justify it to your wife. So,
yep.
My wife never listens anymore, so she's given up on us. Just kidding.
You're going to get so much heat for that, dude.
She is a very, very avid listener, and critic, which I appreciate.
So we've got let's do our shout out. I'm excited about I learn a lot from other people.
Yes.
Most of the shout outs we've done have been about other guys in the barbecue community, which I feel very knowledgeable about cooks and like different cuts of like how the meat is going to react in the cooker. I've probably learned more new knowledge, not just like enhancing knowledge from this group than any other account I follow. Yeah. So I stumbled across these guys when I was getting ready to butcher a deer.
And I had my brother-in-law is avid outdoorsman, and he basically was going to walk me through everything, but I wanted to not be an idiot. And so I started watching their videos, and man, they're the bearded butchers, very, very educational. Like, they have a whole I started watching their stuff, and now it's like on my TikTok or my Instagram reel. I don't know. Their stuff comes up all the time, and I didn't realize that they have like a whole brand of seasonings and rubs and stuff like that. I have just been watching their butchering. So reading their bio, they started White Feather Farms, just kind of a bison ranch over in Ohio. And they started butchering their own bison, and then it just kind of grew into this huge thing. And so, but they show videos of, okay, here's where this comes from, and they'll pull half a beef off of the hook, and then cut the meat and show you where everything comes from. Like, it's pretty awesome, and I really like it. And I'm kind of excited to try some of their rubs because, like I say, I didn't even know that was a thing. I've just been watching their videos on how to cut meat and how to butcher whatever. They butcher everything. So
Yeah, I had no idea they had rubs until you mentioned that as we were getting ready for the show.
yeah, I think I saw some. I can't even remember where I saw it, but I'd like to get a couple and just try them out. But anyway, Bearded Butcher, check them out. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm sure all the things. I don't actually know if they have a Twitter. I don't really understand Twitter, but I think they have everything. So
I think everyone's scared of Twitter right now. Like, who knows what Elon's going to do? He started charging for blue check marks this week, and I don't remember who it was. Someone pretty popular was like, no, it's cool.
I don't know most of those words that you said. What's a blue check mark?
It's a verified check mark.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
you used to just like have to like be someone worth, like, that the platform felt like verifying and being able to say like, yes, this really is Mike Bohm, you know, as opposed to me who created a Mikey Bohm account and was trying to spoof being you.
Okay. And that was free.
It was free, and like you had to kind of earn it, like grow on the platform and be worth. But now you just pay a fee, I think.
So now could somebody trying to impersonate somebody else pay a fee and then get the verified check mark?
I don't know how you, like, what the requirement. I think you've got to show ID or something.
So it's all kind of, you still have to earn it, but you have to pay.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the top of our account. Like, get verified, and I don't know. You want a blue check mark?
I don't know. I don't really understand Twitter, so I understand Maverick.
I do understand Maverick.
Adventure's first stop, everybody.
And hey, how great was National Burrito Day? Did you go hit that up?
No, what?
Oh,
When?
yeah. Thursday, I think.
I hate myself.
Was
serious?
National Burrito Day, and Maverick had 50% off burritos.
Man, I've just been in a spring break coma, so
That's right. I just did finger guns at the camera.
That was awesome. I enjoyed it.
I did too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Bearded Butcher, go check them out. You will learn a ton, especially about the different cuts of meat and where it is, and how things connect to each other, which has been probably the most interesting part for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's really pretty cool.
Check them out. But we have a menagerie of things to talk about today.
We do. It's a whole hodgepodge of show notes.
That's a 12-point word on Scrabble.
I liked it.
Yeah. Hit the springs, make it ring.
I like it.
Yeah. So we did Big Cook last week.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like forever ago.
It does.
We cooked what? Viewers? Listeners? How many
were all there.
How many pork shoulders did we cook? We did what, 16, I think?
Yeah, I think 8 each is what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 each. How'd it go? You broke up. Oh, I want to say Rosie. Rosie's what we decided.
Yep. I did, and man, I learned a lot. Like we had talked about doing like a test cook the week before.
Yeah,
like
Mike
an
went
inaugural cook.
I can't tell you how nervous I was
I can
the whole time. So, for anyone who hasn't been following along, Rosie is Mike's new offset.
Mm-hmm.
Rosie the Riveters with the name, and
yep,
smoking pork's her game, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, so far that's all she's done, and she did a great job. So
yeah, but Mike went full send.
I did
on a big cook for 200 people, and cooked for the first time on. What'd you learn? I mean, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I mean, I did not do a test cook, and so I just sent it. And honestly, I don't think I have a grill that would have fit 8 pork butts. So it kind of out of necessity / I just really wanted to do it. So a couple of things that I've learned. Well, first, I didn't get a lot of sleep I mean, I set an alarm for like every 45 minutes, and I'd get up and stoke the fire and go back to sleep. And I'd come out a couple times and my fire was like almost out. Like the temp dropped down to like 150, and it was like, oh my gosh. But I was telling John, I kind of just assumed that it would be similar to cooking on my drum, where the meat is directly above the coals, and so the coals provide all the heat for the cooking, and then you sprinkle some wood chips or chunks on the coals for some flavor. And so that's kind of how I treated it. Like I'd go out, I used like 3 bags of lump charcoal, and I'd go out and I'd shovel a couple scoops of lump charcoal in and throw we bought that little bundle of logs at the pit stop while we were on our
pit stop
adventure. And it was not enough wood. So really what I learned was where I expected the heat to mostly be coming from the coals and the wood to just be from flavor, in order for it to really travel and get up to temp and have that draft going, you got to have a flame. You got to have a constant flame. And so I've figured this out at like 6 a.m. the next morning when I'm freaking out because my pork butts are sitting at like 150. They haven't even hit the stall yet. And we ate at what, noon?
Yeah.
They had to be done by 11:30-ish to kind of get everything done. So I wrapped them in foil, and then I had burned through my pecan splits. They did not last very long. And so I grabbed a couple of bags of chunks that I used on my drum, and I started throwing those in. So I'd throw like 3 or 4 chunks in every 45 minutes, and it made a big difference. And so it was stressful. It turned out okay. I mean, you could kind of, it wasn't the best pork butts that I've ever done, but you could taste the flavor, and it was good.
I thought they were really good, and you could taste more smoke on those than you could on mine for sure.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That was probably one of the most like interesting comparisons for me. Was like, here's pellet grill, and I mean, I've got a pretty big smoker. I've got an Ironwood 885.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing else going in that grill. Like, it was completely loaded. And then we had the stuff from your stick burner, and yours was a much more pronounced smoke flavor, which was super cool.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like it was bitter or too smoky necessarily, but
it was
good. And that is kind of a cool comparison because we prepared them and used the same pork, the same seasoning, and everything. I did notice yours had a prettier color when you pulled the foil off, but then we shredded them anyway, so it's not like anybody would see it. But
yeah, and you wrapped yours.
I did.
I didn't have to wrap mine.
Oh, maybe that's what.
Yeah, so that saved some of my bark.
That would take bark down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it was a blast. I've learned that I need to procure an exorbitant amount of wood if I'm going to continue cooking on this, which I am, because it's a blast. I will say, though, for all of the work, I don't know that it would be worth, obviously,
if you were doing one pork shoulder.
Yeah, one pork shoulder. I don't know that it would be worth it. But for a big amount, or maybe even a brisket, because it's a little bit bigger, I think it'd be worth it. And it's a lot more. It was very fun. Like, I was into it. I was telling my wife, I didn't get a lot of sleep, but this is what I'm into. Like, I was pretty excited about it. Frustrated at times, but overall, it was a cool experience, but I learned a lot. And I feel like the next time will just be significantly better. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, but I was glad to do it. Did you run into any issues or problems?
No. I mean, no issues, no problems. Like, we've talked about this 1,000 times at least. Like, it's just the convenience of the pellet grill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, came home, and Haley and I were laughing about this. The first pork shoulder I ever trimmed, I think I spent 90 minutes trimming it.
Oh, really?
Like, trying to get that, like, fat cap down to, like, a perfect 1/4 inch all the way around. And, on the bottom side, there's there's a spot where there's always some, veins and stuff that really trying to get all of that out, and, all the surface, silver skin, anything that's there. Like, I spent forever on that first pork shoulder. I came home, cleaned my grill, because of course I hadn't done that ahead of time.
Yeah.
Started it and trimmed and seasoned 8 pork shoulders and had them on in an hour.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, it's always funny, like, when I do these big cooks, like, and I look at how fast I go now compared, that practice really does have a big piece there. But I think the thing that I forget about when I do really big cooks and just like cram my smoker full is how much more fuel you burn through. Like, the Ironwood's got a really big hopper on it. Like, I can get 25 pounds or so in the hopper, and even in the dead of winter, like, I throw a welding blanket over the top of it, and I don't even really need to do that, but like, I'll burn through half a pellet or half a hopper overnight. I went through a hopper and a half on that cook, and they went for, I don't know, 16 hours.
Did you kind of anticipate that? Like, did you get up early to put more pellets in, or?
No, I didn't. Like, I had completely neglected that piece of it. I always fill it up right before I go to bed, just like out of habit.
Right.
But when I got up at 6 the next morning, because the dog wanted to go out and take care of a few things, I like opened it up and I was like, oh, we're like down to the last third of the hopper. Like, so I ran over and grabbed another bag of pellets from my dad's place and just filled it up. And it ran fine. It was great. And just like we said we wanted them on at about 6. I think I put them on at 6:30, and I pulled them off I think I turned the grill down at like 10:30 to keep warm and let them rest, and threw them in foil pans, and over to the church we went.
I couldn't believe how long it took. Like, I guess most of my cooks have been over the drum, which I feel like just cooks everything a little hotter and a little faster. But it took every bit of 16 and a half hours maybe for my butts to come up. And I mean, really, I was just going for feel. I was checking the temperature, but I was mostly just going for that tender feel with the Pro.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it took 16 and some hours.
Yeah. That part didn't surprise me. The fuel consumption surprised me, but yeah, it was a fun cook. We were talking about this a little bit. The only thing I don't like about doing these big pork cooks is by the time I'm done cooking this much pork, and then we went over and we shredded pork for 45 minutes or an hour or something. I had like one sandwich. And I was like, "Yep, I'm done with pork. I don't want to smell it. I don't want to shred it. I don't want to think about it."
I brought a bunch home, and I ended up just taking it to my dad's and being like, "Hey, try this," because I had been smelling that deliciousness and that seasoning we used, and just I'd kind of had enough.
Yeah,
before I'd even had any.
That's the only problem with pork. Everybody loves it. It's easy, and it was so cheap. So we did 240 sandwiches, and like, they were healthy sandwiches.
We didn't skimp.
Yeah. 240 sandwiches, and then we probably had, I'm trying to think, I think I vacuum packed 10 pounds, and we probably sent another 5 to 10. Like, we were probably 2 pork shoulders too much. But I would rather be there than short, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It was $330. Like,
that blew my mind.
It is incredibly cheap, and it's really good, and it's like fast, fun, and easy to feed a ton of people. So.
Yeah, a ton of people. It was kind of a cool little activity we did too. We just had people, like, it was between sessions of general conference. So a lot of people, I mean, most of our listeners know what that is, but it's just kind of a annual or semi-annual meeting for our church. And so we just had people drive over in between. We didn't have time for a huge sit down thing, and people just came, told us how many they wanted. Like, it was a really cool little activity that you guys put together.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Like, that's the second time we've done it. I hope we keep doing it just because it's like, it's fast and it's fun.
Well, and I think the idea was that people could kind of tailgate in the parking lot and kind of have fun, but it was so freaking cold.
Yeah, the weather sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time we did this, it was
cool.
was a lot warmer, and people they like parked around and like chatted, and it was a fun time.
Yeah. So anyway, cool experience. Experience for me. This is the biggest cook that I've ever done, so I learned a lot, had a good time with it. So
yeah, it was a lot of fun. But we're coming up on another kind of big meal holiday on Sunday. It's Easter.
Yeah.
What are you cooking?
Well, I'm cooking pork shoulder. I'm cooking for my family, and we.
Sorry, Mama Bohm. Yeah. I set this up poorly.
Well, my mother is very traditional, and she wanted to do a ham, and she was like, "I don't even like ham, but it's just traditional." And I've done a double smoked ham before for Easter, and it was fine, but I guess, I don't know, talking to my sisters or whatever, they just decided, let's just do pulled pork. So I'm doing the same thing that we did last week. I'll probably try some different rubs, and I am doing it on the pellet grill because I want to be present for Easter and not covered in black soot trying to tend a pellet grill.
Come on, Mike.
Offset, I guess.
Hey, there's still the option. I told, like, just cook a brisket and show up with him and be like, I don't know what happened. I think this one got a little overdone.
I don't know. I mean, this is the best pulled pork I've ever had. No. And I mean, Mama's footing the bill. So I'm just like, all right, yeah, whatever you want to do. So not as exciting, but it'll still be good.
So. It'll be great.
What about you? I'm excited to hear about what's going on with you.
Yes. I mean, we're doing double smoked ham. Like, we really like ham. We're going to do that raspberry glaze that I did a couple of weeks ago, which will inevitably mean this week we do Monte Cristo sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm not going to lie. I mean, ham's good on like the Sunday meal. Mm. It's way better on leftovers.
No, I love a ham sandwich that is from leftover ham.
Yep. Ham sandwiches, ham sandwiches. You watch Duck Dynasty ever?
It's been a long time.
And I'm not gonna lie, like, I love like ham and beans. Take the ham bone and cook it with beans, and man, good stuff. But no, what I'm excited about is I think it was Meat Church. I think it was
that sounds right.
I think it was Mr. Pittman who started this one going a little viral, but we're going to do these deep fried deviled eggs that I'm just like pumped to give a try.
Now, I know that I've seen this video, but I need a description of what's happening here.
All right. So deviled eggs, like,
right.
I don't need to explain that concept, right? But before you fill them, which I could go on a little bit of like a soapbox rant here. Like, I really don't like hard boiled eggs because that yolk just like, it gets in your mouth and it just like coats everything.
Mm-hmm. Almost like chalky.
Yeah, it's a gross, nasty film that I don't know why people love them the way they love them.
I'm a fan, but go on.
So I like deviled eggs because you get to whip them up with a little mayo or dressing or something and add some zip there. But before you fill them, you take the egg whites, dredge them in flour, egg wash, panko, and you deep fry the egg white.
Oh, wow.
So now you've got like a little breaded chicken nugget of an egg white, and then you put the filling in on top of that.
Really?
So
maybe I haven't seen this video. It sounds pretty good, though.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. Have you done it before, or is this kind of experimenting?
No, first time we've ever done it. So
how are you going to deep fry it?
I've got a little deep fryer.
Of course you do. Nice.
Yeah. Come on, Mike. You don't get to be one of the fat guys without having your own deep fryer.
I do not have a deep fryer. I've almost bought one multiple times, but I do not have one.
I know what you're getting for Christmas now.
Well, I'm not going to fight it.
Yeah. No, it's I don't know, little maybe 2-quart fryer that it's fun every once in a while, like for a big game or something. Everybody will go and like you walk up and down the frozen aisle at Walmart and someone gets taquitos and mini tacos and egg rolls and shrimp, and you just fry it up and eat unhealthy for a minute. But yeah, I'm really excited to try them. Frying is normally like a real like chore, and like it just makes a mess and it's a bunch of work, and
right.
Then you've got oil that you can't really do anything with, and it just sits in the back of the fridge for a while. Because it, like once you fried in oil, like all you do is fry with that oil. You don't do anything else. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm excited. They look really good. Yeah. And I like the idea of getting like a little bit of a crunch in there with something that's normally cold and slimy.
Yeah, cold and slimy. That nails it. I mean, that's a pretty good description.
Yeah. But it's funny as I think about talking about all the fried food I eat. I also ate something else this week that was highly unhealthy for the sake of the gram.
Please tell us all about this. First of all, what were you thinking? Had you had any medication? What was going on?
Hey man, this is like it's a TikTok thing. Like I've seen it a couple of times.
Oh really?
This was not an original idea.
Yeah, I thought it was. I was just like, John, what are you doing, man? Oh god.
Yeah. So. Yeah, if you had that mindset, like the audio with Kevin going, talking about not failing his goal of eating more vegetables because he ate none last year. We were at Costco, where all of my great content comes from.
Obviously.
Yeah. And kids wanted to have dinner there, so everybody got pizza. I guess we had a couple of hot dogs. I ordered an extra hot dog and rolled the hot dog up in my pizza.
Oh, man.
It was not great. I was like, people on Instagram and TikTok are like, oh, it's actually pretty good. Like it really wasn't. Like maybe if it was an Italian sausage or like had some spice, but like a very strong all beef frank.
Yeah.
And like the grease from the pizza was like just
dude.
But I've got to find the comment. I want to make sure I get the quote right because it was funny. Make sure my volume's down so we don't blast this.
Yeah, when I saw it I was like, oh man. I mean, I am not above trying new things, but that looked pretty gross.
Hey, look, it was for the gram. It was purely for content, and you know what? It works. We got some good attention for it.
Well, good.
But my favorite was the first comment that came in was, "Nah, you better chill, big guy."
Is that from somebody you know?
No, I have no idea. It's
that's awesome.
L1 man L.
Nah, you better chill, big guy. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I have no idea who this guy is, but he's right. It was not good. I'm not ashamed that I did it. I will not be doing it again.
Yeah.
But to the 64 people that like this and the almost 2,600 people that watched the reel. Thank you. I appreciate you.
His cardiologist will be thanking you later as well. Just kidding.
No joke. So we were talking. I think I mentioned like I did a life insurance exam. All my numbers came back fantastic, right? Mm-hmm. I'm fat. We get it. Like, if you didn't know I was fat, go to the YouTube channel. Like you can see, or you can just trust the fact that
we are not false advertisers.
Yeah, or you can just trust the name of our show that we're fat guys with smokers. And like I've got all these opinions about BMI, my degrees in exercise science. Like I've got, if you want to get me on like on a soapbox, we can talk about BMI one day. Because it's a load of crap and it made sense maybe 40 years ago for the one specific thing they were trying to do.
Interesting.
It has nothing to do with overall health, in my opinion. Maybe directionally, but there's a reason why we have so many other diagnostic tests to be able to figure out if someone's healthy or not. But they jacked my rates way up, even though everything else was great. And I was like kind of grumbling about it, and Haley and I were talking about it, and then I looked at this reel and I was like,
maybe they've got some
maybe
good
they've
points.
got a point. As I'm like sitting there with like grease dripping off of this piece of pizza.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was not good. Don't like kids, this is evidence why you shouldn't try everything you see on the internet.
Oh shoot.
I mean, at least it wasn't like Tide Pods or something,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That is true. At least there was, I don't know what to even say,
but we can talk about something better that we tried this week.
I was gonna say, speaking of pizza, tell us what went on there.
Mary, let me have
lubricate a little bit.
Yeah, let me have a sip of my libation. Trying something new. Charlie, who my oldest, he's actually the star of this Instagram content, got me hooked on this with Cherry Coke. Oh. This is Cherry Coke Zero. Okay. Little cream. It's delicious. But no, we got Papa Murphy's pizzas. I think I talked about this like in passing one day when we were doing an episode. But I think everybody heard the story of I moved to Utah and I was like, why in the world am I ever going to buy Papa Murphy? Like, I have to cook this. Like,
all right. That's right. Because I was like, you didn't have, I just figured they were a national chain. I
had never seen it before. Like, I don't even think like Take and Bake at Costco was like a big thing when we were growing up. But I moved here and I was like, why is everyone so excited about this whole like cook your own pizza when I can go to Domino's and they'll do it for me?
Right. For about the same price.
Yeah, it's not like it's super cheap.
Yeah.
Then I bought a pellet grill. They're friggin' fantastic on the pellet grill. But we bought a couple of pizzas and folded them in half just like a book.
How was that process? I mean, did you have stuff falling off or did you have to?
No, I mean, like literally we kind of creased the, like, if you're thinking about a clock, like we put a little bit of a crease at 12 and 6 just with our thumb so that would be a natural fold point.
On the cardboard thing?
On that baking dish. And then literally just like a book. See, this is why you should go check out our YouTube channel so you can see the hand actions. And we just...
Let the record show John just did this.
Yeah, just like a book, slammed it closed. And then had to be a little slow as you opened it up so that do it this way so the camera can see.
There we go.
So that the dough would fall off the one side and stay down.
Okay.
And we made calzones. Like, that's all we did. We didn't add anything to it. Rolled the edges, pinched it closed. I guess we did brush a little butter, garlic, herb on the top just to help it from burning and kind of to brown up pretty. Put it out on the Traeger. It was 350. Probably went for about 25 minutes.
Okay. And a normal pizza's like
14.
Yeah. 14, 17. That's not bad.
Yeah, so it wasn't crazy long. Yeah, Charlie did a pepperoni and Italian sausage. And mine was chicken artichoke with the garlic sauce instead of... But it was the best Papa Murphy's I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah, the dough got like... Because you had so much more of the dough exposed, it wasn't soggy. Like it really crisped up. It was still kind of fluffy and under that crust, but yeah, it was super good. And it was super fun just to watch him. Like, I was coaching him, kind of like you did with Damon, of like, all right, This is what, like, watch me do this one,
Mm-hmm.
and then you do it.
And then you do it. Yep.
And man, he just friggin', he crushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was super proud of him. He is incredibly hard on himself.
Yeah.
Like, if anything goes wrong, like, he's just so hard on himself. So for him to, one, want to try something new, and two, do it on camera, like, knowing that I was going to put it out for the world to watch, super proud dad moment.
Yeah, dude, seriously. Like, Damon's very similar. Pretty hard on himself. Gets, like, very nervous if things are going to go wrong. And it literally will bring a tear to your eye just watching your kids do something you love and be enjoying it and hopefully feeling a little more confident about it and stuff like that. So, yeah, we need to make more videos with our kids.
Well, they also perform way better than anything that we do.
Better, dude. Way better.
Yeah.
So they must just be more likable than us.
I have no doubt they're more like I'm a grumpy person. I get it. But yeah, so that was super fun, and like it was a total spur of the minute thing of we've got some family in town. My aunt came into town for Easter, and we'd been over there, and my parents' car was because they've been back and forth through the canyon with all the snow, like their blue car looked chalky white almost. It had so much salt. I was like, I'm gonna go wash this. And I'm not that good of a kid. Like, they've got a membership at Quick Quack. I just needed to drive it through. It's not like I actually did anything. But I was like, oh, look at Papa Murphy's. Like, just a total whim. And it was a really cool thing. So
yeah.
Further evidence. Do you watch Ted Lasso?
No, I want to. I don't have Apple Plus. I've watched like everything YouTube has to offer on it, but
we can talk later.
Yeah.
It's got language, but has, and it's less like, I don't know. We could have a whole conversation about this one day, but it is cultural language. It's not like vulgar language, in my opinion.
That's kind of what I've heard and what I understand.
Yeah, people in the UK
they talk different.
They like the F word, man.
Mm-hmm.
They like it a lot. But there's some like great life lessons and like even some leadership principles in that show. Like, that I love it when you find a show that's kind of got like some hidden messages.
Yeah.
But there's a great clip, I'm sure you've seen it on YouTube, about being curious.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And just, man, be curious. Like, you find some great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So try something new.
Yeah, I love it. Love it.
Do it, YouTube. Do it, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. Do it, Spotify. I don't know where we're at. Do it, Twitter. Get that verified check mark.
We're actually, I think Twitter's like the only place we're not.
Man. All right.
Well, I mean, we're not on TikTok either, but
oh, that's true.
We probably should be on. I hate TikTok.
I know. We've talked about this. Talk. Oh, shit. Oh.
All right.
Well,
I think we've reached that point.
We're starting to make dad jokes. We got to be done, man.
Oh. Did you know that 10 plus 10 and 11 plus 11 are the same thing? You're a math teacher.
I know. I don't think this is true.
10 plus 10 equals
20.
11 plus 11 equals
22. Oh my gosh.
Well, until next time, everybody, I'm John.
And I'm confused.
And this is Fat Guys with Smokers. Thanks for listening to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to subscribe so you don't forget to tune in for even more nonsense from a couple of Fat Guys with Smokers.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.